Hey guys, it's another Bushido here and welcome back to the channel. And it's been a bit. Hope you guys are doing alright. And it's almost Christmas, so Merry Christmas everyone and Happy New Year as well. We'll catch up. I've just been chilling recently. We've got a stream tomorrow, Monster Hunter of GU and Rise as well. That should be fun. Today technically, because I'm recording this on the 24th, but very early in the morning. But enough of that, let's get into the topic of this video. So today's video is about, well, it's coming up to Christmas. You know, I know that, everyone's waiting for some break. They're waiting for new games to play. Maybe you got a Switch just to play Rise, or maybe you've always had a Switch and you're looking for new games. So here's me just suggesting some games that I've played on my Switch and I've loved these games. Some indie games, some AA or AAA games. So yeah, let's get into this and hopefully you like it. So I'm going to start off with an easy pick, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. I mean, I'm hoping most of you have played it. If not, get started. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate is the definitive, I guess, all-stars Monster Hunter game. It has over 100 monsters in it. It has so much content. I have over 1,400 hours in that game, and I still have more to go, as you can see in my streams. And even after my goal of defeating all the deviants, there's still so much more for me to do if I really want to. Dude, this has so much jam-packed, all the way from Gen 1, 2, just building on top of 3, 4, 4U, all of the games tried, and just came up with a banging game with so much content. And not Switch skills, so I'm thinking of Rise now. And hunter arts and the styles, it refreshes your gameplay. Like every hunt, if you want to just switch it up, you can just switch it up, so it's always fun. It's an amazing game. I should just picking it up. I don't think it's on sale right now, but it does go on sale quite often. So if you can find it somewhere on sale, that'd be great. If you can't, I would wait probably until it's on sale. Capcom have put on sale quite a lot, sometimes 60% off. So yeah, I definitely recommend picking it up when you can if you do see it on sale. But it's an amazing game. Next, we're going to go into Astral Chain. Now, I love Astral Chain. It's one of my favorite games. I think it was my favorite game of 2019 is when it came out. 2019, it was fantastic. Astral Chain blew me away. From the combat and the world itself, like the environment of the world. The story itself, I don't want to explore too much. It wasn't too mind-blowing for me, but the premise, the atmosphere, this futuristic, playing as a cop, trying to figure out what's going on with all these let's say monsters coming out of these rifts and attacking people and taking over people. Like, it's just top notch for me. Action wise, I love it. It's coming from Platinum, so it's going to be good when it comes to action. And even after you complete the story, there's an end game where you can go through so many missions back to back, and it's just so much content, and they just keep getting harder. I felt like I didn't even understand the full game until I actually got to the end game. That's when I actually started to understand the game, because they make you go through so many missions, and then you really understand how the combat works in the game, and it's fantastic. The final boss in this game in the end game was one of the best final bosses I've ever played in my life. It was incredible. I love Astral Chain. I recommend picking it up. I'm just going to do a quick search right now to see if it's on sale. It's not on sale. It's at full retail price, but it's been on sale quite a lot over the years. So if you can see it on a sale, then that'd be great. But it's not on sale at the moment, but it's a fantastic game. Next, we're going to go to Immortal Fenyx Rising. So Immortal Fenyx Rising is a Ubisoft game. Depending on how you feel on Ubisoft, maybe you don't want to pick the game up. But the parent company and some of the people underneath them, they're working. We don't know everyone's circumstances, but let's not get too much into that. So Fenyx Immortal Rising was a game that came out in 2020, I believe. Yep, 2020 December. I picked it up. It was a really cool game, actually. I didn't complete it, but it was nice. It was an open world Greek type of fantasy. I'm always interested in Greek fantasy. Like, now we're coming up to Sunrise, and I think a lot of ideas from Immortals of Fenyx Rising could get into Sunrise. Like, I really vibed with Immortals. It really reminded me of like my childhood of watching like Hercules back in the day. If any of you guys watch Hercules, like it's just so cool. Basically, it's an open world where you're just traveling, solving puzzles, upgrading your skills from, if it's using your axe, your two-hand axe, or your sword, using so many cool abilities, being able to glide around the map. There's some customization in the game. There is some DLC, but there's a lot of like free customization in the game by playing the game. It's amazing because Ubisoft doesn't normally do that. Is the game on sale? I'm gonna check that right now for you guys. But it's I think it's a fantastic game with really good combat, in fact, people compare it to Breath of the Wild. I would say it has better combat than Breath of the Wild by quite a bit. But maybe Breath of the Wild has more charm to you. But this game's combat is better than Breath of the Wild, is what I can say. So in the UK at least, it's on Amazon. It's on 74% off on Amazon. That's fucking amazing. That's great. Argos is really cheap as well if you live in the UK. I'm guessing in US it's going to be on sale as well. I mean, this game is quite on sale quite a lot. It's a fantastic game to pick up. I would recommend it. You can easily get 40, 60 hours out of this game, and plus there's DLC as well. So yeah, it's a great game. Think about it. Next, we're going to go into some indie games. So I love indie games. So one of my favorite indie games, I think it was 2018 maybe. Katana Zero. When did this game come out? Katana Zero. I've been waiting for Katana Zero 2. 2019. Katana Zero was fantastic. It came from Devolver Digital, sorry. ASCIIsoft is the developer though. It's a really fantastic I guess you know, side scrolling, but you're basically playing as a samurai who lives in this rough city where he's an assassin working for various clients, and he's addicted to this drug which allows him to rewind time. So every time he dies, he goes back in time and replays the scenario where he died, and you pretty much learn from how you died, and you can replay that and you know, take advantage of the knowledge you have now since you died. The combat in this game is fantastic. The music is out of this world. The Katana Zero OST, if you want to just check it out, you'll just see this. It's just so cool. You really vibe to it, man. Like, it's so great. This game is actually quite mature. I think it's like 15 and plus in the game. You don't normally see that. It's probably 15 or 12. It's like, but there's not much storytelling, but the storytelling in it is fantastic. Like the cutscenes, the story development, the characters. It's just mwah. I can't wait for a Katana Zero 2 or DLC. We've been waiting. 2 years later, I mean, it's possible that COVID has delayed it, as it was initially planned to have free DLC planned for 2021, but COVID probably delayed it. So 2022, hopefully we get some free DLC, which I'm really excited for. It's a fantastic game. Honestly, one of the best indie games I've ever played, and I play a lot of indie games, so definitely check that one out. Another fantastic indie game is The Messenger. The Messenger is in a similar vein. Well, you can maybe not. No, you're not playing as a samurai this time. This time you're playing as a ninja. When did this come out? Messenger game. Messenger game is also from Devolver Digital. This time from Sabotage Studio. A fantastic game. I don't think it's on sale right now, but no, indie games aren't too expensive. It's on Steam as well if you want to get on Steam. You know, 60% off, I think on Steam. It's such a cool game. The music as well, like indie games. Some of this music, just vibing with it, man. The game came out in 2018, but I didn't play it until 2019, so I was a bit late to the hype. But this game is top tier. If I was gonna rate it, and I don't normally rate games. I don't, you know, do tier lists of games and stuff. But if I was gonna rate this game, I would give it like a 9.5. This game is almost perfect for an indie game with its budget. How much it costs? Like, it's around a 20-hour game, and it's mind-blowing. I can't tell you too much, but basically you're playing as a ninja. It might seem quite basic at first, but it's really cool. Like the music, the characters, the monsters in the background, they kind of vibe to the music. Like, it's all music based, really cool. Well, not all of it is music based, but like a lot of it, like you can see the music and the animations of the characters is like fantastic. Like, and just play through the game. If you play through the game and you understand, there's this point when you think you're done, there's this point where it just changes everything, and then your mind will be blown. It's fantastic. It's mind-boggling. I was so impressed. The combat is pretty cool. It just keeps getting better and better. It follows from those, you know, Japanese games where the combat, you know, it starts basic, and then as you go along, you learn more and more. That's how the game goes. There's boss fights. It's really cool. There's a lot of really fast-paced side-scrolling, platforming, interesting boss fights. Some really difficult, some really expansive. And there's DLC that came out 3 days in 2019. Panic, I think it was called. That was really good as well. Some really good music as well. I love The Messenger, and even when I'm not thinking about playing the game, I'm banging out the music, because the music is fucking great. Next, this game is a bit niche. Dandara. I don't think most people are going to vibe with this game. It doesn't really score well on most websites. I think a lot of people don't understand. Well, they find it difficult to play the game. The game is definitely very difficult. The controls, it can take a while to get used to. But once you get used to controls, like when I first picked up the game, I dropped it. I just wasn't vibing with it. But then I came back one time, and I don't know, like it really clicked to me. It really clicked. I think this was after I played the Messenger. I started to really get into these like Metrovania games. Like, it's a Metrovania game, and I think it's one of the best I've played. It's like, it's so like expansive. Like, there's so many places to go to. It's so interesting. The vibes of the themes, like the music, it's so subtle but it's so impactful. There's not much story, but there's a lot of like just ambiance of what's going on. The combat is really cool. It's really fascinating. Some of the best platforming I've seen. It's great. The systems are great. And when I thought I was done, I wasn't done. This game is about 10 hours. I thought it was going to be much shorter than that. They came out of DLC as well, and the DLC is great too. I haven't completed the DLC. I've almost done it, but this game is fantastic. Like, it's very niche though. Like, it's on sale right now on Switch, so you know, pick it up. It's cheap. It's like £4 in the UK. Hopefully in US or wherever you are in Europe, it's cheap as well. But I think it's a great game. I think it's definitely worth a pick up, but it's not for everyone. I can understand that. I think there's a demo. I'm not too sure about that, but if there is a demo, you know, pick up. You know, try it out and see how you feel. And if you're struggling, you know, come to Papa Nova. You know, I'll help you out. A couple other games here. Star Wars Republic Commando. This is on your Switch as well. It's also on PC. I played this game so many times in so many different platforms. I played it on PC. I played on Xbox, original Xbox, OG Xbox. I think I have like 2 or 3 copies of this game because I've got on Switch now as well. I haven't played it much on Switch yet. This game is one of my favorite games of all time. It's like, it's so great. I love Republic Commando. I'm a big Star Wars fan. If you're a big Star Wars fan, play this game. It's so cool. You just on missions with your Commando squad, like Delta Squad, one of the most legendary Star Wars games ever to exist. Like, people are begging for a sequel. We never got one, and thanks to Disney, you probably never will. But LucasArts should have done one. But it's fantastic. There's a lot of tactics. You and your squad. There's a lot of missions you go on. Really long missions as well. Like, in some in really dark areas, fighting against droids and Geonosians. There's a lot of dangerous situations where you have to navigate your team and yourselves. Sometimes the AI isn't perfect, but it's good enough to get by. There's a lot of different weapons, sniper rifles, grenade launchers. There's I think I said snipers. There's rifles in general, pistols, and it's so, like, the combat is really cool. It's really fun. Music is great. It's like what you expect from Star Wars. Like, really, what I would say, because there's a bit of a difference between episode 4 and 6 and 1 to 3 music. This is definitely 1 to 3 music, but I love 1 to 3 music as it's so opera-like. It's so space opera, bombastic, you know, being engulfed in it. Like, that's what I like, and this has it all. So Star Wars Republic Commando, fantastic. And even more than that, we also got Knights of the Old Republic, which came out earlier this year, I think, as well as Republic Commando, and that's a fantastic game. I was late to the party in that game. I didn't play it until I think 2019 as well. I played a lot of good games in 2019. No, maybe it was 2020, just to start the pandemic. I was playing this game and it blew me away. The game's fantastic. The storytelling, the characters, just the atmosphere of Knights of the Republic 1. 2, you can get 2 on PC. Hopefully 2 comes on consoles as well. It should, because why not? Like, it's just the continuation. But I don't want to spoil too much of Knights of the Republic. But basically, you're playing as a Jedi. You've lost your memories. You're trying to figure out how you lost your memories, and yeah, you can have a lot of you can really, the way you build your character and your team changes how you interact with the story and other characters in the story. And you know, you have love interests and everything, and you can choose to be more dark side or more the light side and all this stuff. There's a lot of really cool RPG elements. The action in the game is really archaic, yes, but the strategy and the story carries it so hard. Like, it's a great game regardless. It's really buggy on PC, so I do recommend. I think the Switch one should be better, hopefully. But it's a new remaster. The PC version, I don't think it has a remaster, and that one is really buggy. Definitely one. So if you play it on PC, I will warn you that Knights of the Old Republic 1 is very buggy. You get stuck a lot. Sometimes the keys don't work. But Knights of the Old Republic 2 on PC is perfect for me. I didn't have any issues, at least from memory. Maybe like 1 or 2, but most times it was great. UI was really weird. That was massive. I don't know why they did that. But great game. Both of these games are great, man. Star Wars is great. Old Star Wars is great. The old games are amazing too. Now, one of the games I've been playing a lot over the last year and a bit is a game called Star Renegade. I'm not going to talk too much about Star Renegade in this video because I'm going to have another video talking about Star Renegade. Star Renegade is a really cool indie game. It's a turn-based action roguelike game, which is really cool. So you build your team, you go out on this mission to save your universe from invaders, and you'll go on battles, and after battle you get some XP, which allows you to level up your team. Leveling up your team, you get new skills, you get these new things called cards to gift to your allies to allow them to gain more trust in you, and then through that, and also give them buffs, and through that you can earn more like passives and new abilities to use in your run. There's a lot of they call them renegades to choose from. I think overall there's like 20, so there's a variety of different play styles, and with each renegade there's like 4 or 5 different variations. If you play the game more, you unlock more. So for me, I have pretty much everything unlocked in this game because I banged this game out hard on Switch and on PC. But yeah, the game is really cool. I recommend getting on PC, but Switch is also a good one. It's on sale right now on Switch and probably on PC too. I'll talk about this more in the in another video, probably my next video, because there's more I want to talk about this game. Yeah, because it was one of the games I reviewed. Not really reviewed. It was more like an introduction, like ages ago, like one of my first videos when I actually took YouTube a bit more like seriously, even though I don't take it super seriously. It's one of the games that I really started with, and I really enjoyed that video. I never came back to it because the game was crashing a lot for me on the Switch at that time. I stopped playing, and I never recorded again for a while because of that, and I was sad about that. But I'm gonna go into that in another video. Alright, so the next game is another indie game called Wand Wars. Holy shit, this game, I never thought this game would be as good as it actually is. It's one of the most funnest multiplayer games, and even single player games with NPCs. There's so many different game modes in this game. Basically, it's you're wizards, and you have to shoot this ball around, and the more you shoot the ball, the faster it gets, the bigger it gets. The objective is to be the last one standing. You're trying to hit everyone else with the balls. You also get abilities to turn people into chickens, and there's power-ups you can find on the maps also to power you up. It's such a fun game. The balls can get so fast, it can get so hectic. It's insane how fun the game can really get. I love the music. The music is some of the best soundtrack. Some of these indie games, their music is so good. I vibe with it so much. Gameplay is fantastic. It's fast paced. Get right into it. Easy to play. I've never had any issues with the game. The game runs perfectly on Switch. I think it's on every system, but it's great to play on Switch. I love playing this with my friends. It's too bad when we started to play it, we played it just before lockdown started, so we had a lot of fun, but then we couldn't play it for all that time after, which was the game, because this game is fantastic. There's even game modes like football, so defending your goalpost 2-on-2 against the other team, shoot the ball on the goalpost to get a score, or whoever can turn each other into chickens the most, or these random mini games. There's a solo game where it's like roguelike mode, where you just keep on playing until you get the furthest you can get, fighting against bosses and upgrading your character as you go along. There's a story mode, which is just you in a tournament fighting against other wizards, and it's pretty cool. Though it isn't anything amazing, but it's just a bit charming all the way. Yeah, man, this game I think it's one of the best indie games, probably the best multiplayer indie game I've ever played. It's fantastic. Like, along with playing Smash, like Wand Wars is a game that we will play multiplayer on my phone all the time. Fantastic, man. I recommend it. Now, lastly on my list, Hand of Fate 2. Now, this game is very niche. I don't think it's gonna really be for everyone, but I don't think it was be for me either. The first time I played it, I was like, I don't know how to think about this game. But basically, it's the best way for me to explain this. It's a cardboard action adventure RPG simulation game. Basically, what I mean by that, I'm gonna show some gameplay in the background. Hopefully, you guys can understand it. Basically, what's going on is there's these cards on the map, and your character moves each point on the map, and each point in the map, nothing may happen, or you may have an activity happening, something like Dungeons and Dragons. I know I play Dungeons and Dragons, but I assume it's like this. Something like this. I know it's something like this. And basically, an event will happen where maybe you'll meet like a traveler on the road, and then maybe you have to roll a dice, and if your strength is high enough, or if your luck is high enough to get the correct roll, something good will happen. If not, then you don't meet the requirements, and then maybe something bad will happen. Or or maybe you meet some bandits, they ask for your money, you can either ask try to run and then roll, or maybe fight, but it's be hard. And on your way you get new equipment, and you get more cards that allow you to basically pick new routes in the future. So if you like a certain encounter, you can use the encounters in harder missions. It's really hard to explain, but it's quite fun because the action is quite basic, but it's really fun. I love parrying in that game. It's just a lot of fun, I can't lie. I like the card mechanic, picking my favorite cards to go through the traveling across the board. I don't think this game's on sale, but this game is a really cool game. It's very niche, but if you're willing to try out new indie games, I would definitely say pick this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this list. A lot of these games I think are fantastic. If you were gonna just pick up, a couple, I would say, let's say if I was gonna say top 3 definite pickups, GU if you're a Monster Hunter fan, unless you're just not interested in playing old school Monster Hunter. Astral Chain, I would say pick that up. And then I would say Messenger and Katana Zero picked up, definitely. If you're even remotely a Star Wars fan, Public Commando is for you, guaranteed. And then also we have a Knights of the Old Republic. Yep, those are my most guaranteed games. These aren't all the games. I mean, there's so many games on Switch that I could recommend, but I'm just picking massive games, like games that vibe with me, that aren't big appeal, there's games that are quite smaller, and I'm thinking these games are sick. I wish more people knew about these games, but they don't. So yeah, that's it for this video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Let me know what you think below, like the video and everything. Thanks guys, see ya.